Good morning, good day. We've been sitting already for 2 rounds, and now it's again time for Teisho. I hope you have good environment where you sit at home in Latvia and are eager to continue with your practice for the rest of the day and the days to come. Tomorrow we will start Advent, which is in the Christian lands the preparation of silence, of dark, but also of light. And it will culminate in the birth of Jesus. Today I chose Koan from the collection The Hidden Lamp, which is a collection of stories from women, awakened women, through 2500 centuries, who represents also the female practitioners, female teachers that are still a valid and very important impulse also for our practice. So the koan I chose today, I can relate a little bit also to the happening we are preparing for. It's called Yoshihime's Look, Look. It's a koan that originates in 14th century Japan. And it goes like this. Yoshihime was a nun at Tokeiji and the daughter of a general. She was very strong and her nickname was Devil Girl. She wanted to meet with the teacher at the monastery of Engakuji, but the gatekeeper monk barred her way with a shout. "What is it, the gate through which the Buddhas come into the world?" Yoshihime grabbed his head and forced it between her legs, saying, "Look, look." The monk said, "In the middle there is a fragrance of wind and dew." Yoshihime said, "This monk, he's not fit to keep the gate. He ought to be looking after the gardens." The gatekeeper ran into the temple and reported this to the teacher's attendant, who said, "Let me test her." So the attendant went to the gate and asked her again, "What is it, the gate through which the Buddhas come into the world?" Yoshihime grabbed his head and held it between her legs, saying, "Look, look." The attendant said, "The Buddhas of the 3 worlds come, giving light." Yoshihime said, "This monk is one with the eye. He saw the 84,000 gates all thrown open." So far the text of the koan, Yoshihime's Look, Look. When I came across this koan, I was startled, amused also, because it's very unusual to encounter a woman. During all my studies, the traditional Koan studies, you always or most of the time encounter men. Here we encounter a woman, a strong woman, called Devil's Girl by her peers. And that's also the way she obviously appears to the male practitioners. And of course she is embedded in a culture that turned out to be a patriarchal culture. So where women were often encountered with misogyny. So regarding them as of lesser importance and of lesser insight. But all the koans, also those in the traditional collections, portray a different view. Because, what are the Buddhas that come into the world through this gate? It's all of us who practice, all of us who do not practice, because we're all beings, and as such, oh wonderful, all beings by nature are Tathagata. These two encounters we witness here in this koan speak of two men, each coming and inquiring. So, what is it, the gate through which the Buddhas come into the world? And of course, as practitioners, that's our question, our deepest question. So, what is this? What is it? The gate through which the Buddhas come into the world. But it's also the question, what is it that brings forth everything? Very pragmatic, Yoshihime then grabs those heads. First of the one gatekeeper monk who barred her way. And obviously she wasn't very happy with his reaction and his expression. In the middle there is fragrance of wind and dew. Obviously, from her reaction we can read, that guy, he didn't realize the gate through which all the Buddhas come. So he is obviously under pressure, startled, and was babbling something about fragrance of wind and dew, making a reference to what he might have perceived down there. But that's not the point. And so she says, well, if you're just bothered with wind and dew, go to the garden. There you can study on and perhaps get some hint from nature and deepen the insight. Then the teacher's attendant who heard this was obviously curious enough from what he heard from the gatekeeper monk to go and insist and look for himself. So he obviously already heard the call, look, look. And so he went and asked the same question again. What is it, the gate through which the Buddhas come into the world? And again, Yoshihime grabbed his head and held it between her legs, saying, "Look, look." But now we hear a different response from the attendant. The Buddhas of the three worlds come giving light. So, no being startled by Yoshihime's actions, but just expressing himself the truth that is asked for with the original question. What is it, the gate through which the Buddhas come into the world? He doesn't really give an answer. He just states the fact: the Buddhas of the three worlds come giving light. And you remember when I introduced the 5 ranks during the session at the Stasia, about this darkness, or the absolute, and the relative, or the contingent. The contingent, the realm of forms, colors, smells, that we can also see in this short koan. So when the Buddhas of the three worlds come giving light, we could also say the Buddhas of the three worlds come into the light, come into form, however they come. There's no question about coming out from between the legs, which is also true. That's how we come into this world. That's also how Jesus comes into this world. But it's not only the holy ones, it's actually true for everything. And it's also true in many other traditions. It's a fact, and Zen is always about the obvious, that what occurs naturally. So no secret or no reducing to fragrances of wind and dew. Just stating the fact. Buddhas come and giving light, orientation. We can also see this koan in the context of the Proto-Chinese history and wisdom. This wisdom tradition goes far back, before even Buddhist tradition. And it was understood that nature itself, or the origin, was thought to be female, bringing forth everything from where is not to be defined. It's appearing, it's coming forth. And it was always clear, it's a female quality that brings everything out, brings everything forth. And so giving light, or giving differences, the 10,000 things that come, And that's why she then says, the monk is one with the eye. He saw the 84,000 gates all thrown open. So these 84,000, we encounter this again and again. That's just a reference to our boundless reality. So Muman talks about 84,000 cells and pores that make up our body, and that when we practice with the Koan Mu, we should really dive deep and encounter and ponder about with all our 84,000 pores to solve the mystery. Or Dogen, who says in regard to rebirth and neglecting the sense we will be reborn, he says, no, don't stick to this concept of being reborn. In fact, we are 84,000 times a day reborn. So meaning we are constantly being brought forth. And in coming forth, we also give light. We become what we are, we're distinguishable. That's the way things manifest. And if we try to define what is beyond that, from where does it come, it doesn't really matter. It manifests itself in thusness. A thusness that is tangible, that we are part of every day of our life. And in practicing Zazen, we are just opening ourselves to this reality. Everything comes, giving light, and then in due time also falling back into what? So what is it? The gate through which we come into the world? Or what is it? The gate through which Buddhas come into the world? And Yoshihime's look is just a call to continue with our quest, to examine. And sometimes we need to be pushed into an uncomfortable position. And if we remain in the state of discomfort, then we often have to go deeper. Perhaps first go and look after the garden. Find a different approach. But the call of look to further examine our existence is the task at hand in any moment. It's the task at hand also today for us here in the Rebberg Zendo. It's the task at hand for you, wherever you decided to sit, perhaps together with your peers or alone at your home. So the call goes out to you. Look, look. Sitting facing the wall with open eyes. Seeing, but not looking around or watching around. Just this immediate perception. What is there? Then we will find the answer to how the Buddhas come into this world. Yeah, with this very short Teisho, I intend to raise your spirits and motivate you to continue with your practice on and on, period after period, breathing in, working with your koan. And then we shall meet this afternoon at Doksan, where I might also ask you or order you to give an answer or say, look, look. What's your response to that? Of course, I will ask you on the koan you're actually working with. For now, don't get caught up to ponder what's going on in some specific part of our bodies, of our existence. When it comes up, it's there. Smile, breathe in, and stay with your practice. For now, just wipe out what you've heard and continue sincerely with your practice. That's what we always do. Look, look. I thank you.